So this is a cage that I built for my son's Chinese water dragons. The tank is 7 foot tall, 4 foot wide, and 2 feet deep. The actual living area is approximately 5 foot by 22 inches by 4 foot. This is the first lizard we got. This is Milan. She is a female, about a year old now. And the new addition, Rocco, hoping he's going to be a boy. So the construction of the cage. The front portion here and what wraps around to the side, those are 1x3x8s that I cut down to size. I also routed the edges for a better look. I got 2 locks, one on top and bottom, with hinges on each side for 2 doors. It's also made out of 1x6s. Going across the front, that's a 1x6 by 4 foot. And I've also followed it around to the backhand side on each side. These are also 1x3s that help keep the lizards inside the tank. We're having problems with them squeezing out the sides of where the plexiglass was. And they would squeeze out through this glass. It's not very thick glass. So what I did is I put a piano hinge on the side here and attach the 1x3 to the piano hinge, and then put locks up at the top as well as the bottom where they can no longer escape. After finishing all the wood, after sanding and everything was complete, all the routering of the wood was complete, I stained the entire tank with a gun stock color of a stain. Did the proper thing. I didn't realize how time consuming staining actually was. Letting it sit, put on a coat, let it sit, take it off. If you don't like the color, put on another coat. Polyurethaning definitely takes up most of your time on staining. In order to get a fancy look, a nice look, a smooth look, you have to do it properly. One coat, let it dry at least 24 hours. I did mine in a time span of, a week. I'd let it dry for 3 or 4 days, sand it down, and then put on a new coat of polyurethane. It's a process, that's for sure. I never realized how much of a process it was. I polyurethaned the whole bottom part for the look. The top part up here, I did not polyurethane. I may in the future, but most likely not. The color is a little off compared to the bottom, but I don't want to harm the lizards at all. Most of this is all tacked into place, so I would have to remove the lizards for a couple days in order to polyurethane the rest of this tank. And I don't really have the room to uproot the lizards and put them in something else. So I'm just going to leave the tank as is. The colors aren't off that much. They are off, but not enough to really bother me to try to hurt the lizards. The plexiglass in the front is 4 foot wide, same as the tank, and 5 foot tall here. It is crossed in the middle to make the glass in the middle of the tank sturdier. They would hit the glass, and the glass would almost seem like it would pop out, but it doesn't. So what I did is I just crossed it in the middle there, and then with these locks on here, it keeps the sides in really tight, and the glass is solid as a rock at this point. If you want to do a large tank like this, plexiglass is extremely expensive. Also pretty hard to work with. I'm pretty good with wood and metals and things like that. I've never cut plexiglass before, and I tried to cut it and ended up with this little crack across the screen here. So the entire tank was built by hand, including the background, the rocks, all the wood I did myself, all the flowers and tree branches was all me. I got 2 platforms down here, one where Mulan is now, one right here, and they gradually step up in the tank, almost like steps, just far apart. There's another one right here where Rocco is, and then a small one back here. And then there used to be one right there where you can see the white. That one fell off. I didn't brace it like I did to the others. These 2 down here and this one running along the inside of the styrofoam, I ran a bookshelf like holder, one of the white ones, to hold those in place, as well as I epoxied them in place as well. So those ones actually held up nicely compared to the one that I didn't. The background is all made out of styrofoam. The sides as well. Has a nice little brick pattern to them, which are light brown and dark brown. What I did was I grabbed the styrofoam, and then I used a soldering iron to melt what I wanted into the styrofoam. So I went with the bricks, and then a little green pattern in the front. After I melted that, what I did was I grouted the styrofoam with quite a few layers. There's probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 layers of grout on it. Then I got into waterproofing. Waterproofing for styrofoam to be lizard safe is extremely expensive. You can pay a lot of money per gallon for waterproofing that is reptile or fish safe. So what I did was I got Mod Podge. It's MODPOG, I believe. What it is the stuff that you glue puzzles together with. that holds them together. It is non-toxic, and it is a water sealant. So it is perfectly safe for the lizards to be in with the Mod Podge. The Mod Podge, I had to put probably 3 or 4 different coats on it before it seemed like it was actually waterproof. Now if you basically hit the back where the styrofoam, the grout, and the Mod Podge is, it's rock solid. There's no movement in it. You can hit it as hard as you can, and it's pretty much concrete at this point. All the plants I found at a couple different places. Best place to find cheap plants, because fake plants are actually quite expensive. The best place to find them would probably be thrift stores. That's where I got most of the greenery in here. All these ones here, all these big long ones, these red and green ones here. I found those in like a Goodwill. You can find those for a couple bucks a piece. All you got to do is cut them up and then put them, arrange them where you need them. Another good place was Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, I got a lot of the bigger item stuff in here, like these big leaves here, this little flower thing here, a lot more of the flowers. Most of the vines that are wrapped around the pieces of wood are from Hobby Lobby. These flowers, all these red, purple, and yellow and white flowers here, I found at the dollar store. They are, I believe, the nylon. They almost have a plastic filling to them. The first ones I've got through them, they were the paper ones, and those ones completely just got destroyed due to the humidity and things like that. If you're gonna go to a dollar store, just make sure you get the ones that feel a little silkier. They do last. These have been in the tank for a little while now. The Chinese water dragons really, really enjoy the ropes. They love playing on the ropes. So I got 3 different types of ropes in here. I'm probably going to get more to go in there, but one expands all the way across. Got one down here, and then another one down here. They like to jump out of the water onto this little branch here a lot, and they'll dangle there a lot. And then when they sleep, they'll sleep directly across like this.